This year, Tegan and Sara released their 8th studio record, Love You to Death. It's a great example of how the Canadian sisters have pretty much mastered the art of pop songwriting. They dropped by Studio Q to do something a little special, and to be honest, a little different. They played some pop songs stripped of everything except for the vocals and the piano. I really think you're going to enjoy this. And if you've never heard a Tegan and Sara interview before, you might want to prepare yourself. The Quin sisters are pretty quick on their feet, and they have me on my toes. I'm joined now in the Q Music Studio, the brand new one that we just kind of took the plastic off a couple of days ago, by Tegan and Sara. How are you?
Hi.
Great.
It looks really nice in here, by the way.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Super swank.
That's the first time I've seen that purple Q there. Looks good.
Looks great. It looks kind of prince-ish.
Yeah, I feel kind of prince-ish.
Yeah.
I do.
That's cool.
I feel like I'm svelte.
Yeah,
You know?
totally.
Sure.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Thank you, by the way. That's very kind. Radio is very kind to me, by the way. The new record is called Love You to Death. It's a real like pop explosion, synths and program beats, huge vocals. But you're here today with the grand piano. We're going to hear something special. What song are you going to do first?
So we're going to start with the single Boyfriend, but we're going to play it on piano. That's sort of exciting for us to sometimes showcase the songwriting in a totally different way. You dropped your papers.
Well, that's because I'm
This is a real professional show that we're on.
That's because I'm a professional radio broadcaster.
Kind of Canadian.
You're fine,
Just
you're
kidding.
fine.
That's adorable.
How did you? Well,
it's so Canadian of you.
It was an essay writing contest, and I came fourth.
I can't believe you interrupted my super interesting story.
I'm glad it woke me up.
But so I think the question is that like, is this closer to how it was written? Did you write it on piano?
Kind of. I mean, I wrote it on a fake piano on my computer, but yeah, I mean, a lot of times the nucleus of a song is just a melody and one kind of chord progression, and sometimes it's interesting to strip it back after you've heard it kind of done the popped up way. And I think Canadian people have heard this popped up version way too many times, so this is a good version for everyone to just calm down to.
All right, this is Tegan and Sara playing a stripped down version and relieving you apparently from the pop
We're
version.
so sorry about having to hear that song so many times the other way.
I have
All right.
no problem with it. This is Boyfriend.
Tell you that I love you, that I can't hold back. The feeling that you give me, wanna give it right back. I know you always win at this particular game. I need to know the rules if you want me to play. You treat me like your boyfriend and trust me like a very best friend. Kiss me like your boyfriend. You call me up like you would your best friend. You turn me on like you would your boyfriend. I don't wanna be a secret anymore. I'm trying to be honest, cause I can't be lax. Oh, when I get around you, I can't hide the fact I let you take advantage cause it felt so good. I blame myself for thinking we both understood. You treat me like your boyfriend and trust me like a very best friend. Kiss me like your boyfriend. You call me up like you would your best friend. You turn me on like you would your boyfriend. But I don't wanna be your secret. I don't wanna play the crying game. Do you feel the same? You feel the same. Don't wanna spin the bottle again. Do you feel the same? You feel the same. You treat me like your boyfriend and trust me like a very best friend. Kiss me like your boyfriend. You call me up like you would your best friend. You turn me on like you would your boyfriend. I don't wanna be your secret anymore. You treat me like your boyfriend and trust me like a very best friend. Kiss me like your boyfriend. You call me up like you would your best friend. You turn me on like you would your boyfriend. I don't wanna be your
Beautiful.
Thanks.
That's beautiful. Tegan and Sara performing a stripped-down version of Boyfriend from their latest record, Love You to Death. Sara singing the lead vocals on that, Tegan singing some backing vocals, and Gabriel McNair on the grand piano. Gabriel, lovely job, man. Can you tell me a little bit about Gabriel here on the piano?
He's really nice. He's very talented. No, he's got a great positive attitude. And it's so funny how sometimes musicians, like, I think that a lot of artists and musicians are moody, you know? Like, it's like you get into your art and you take yourself so seriously. And Tegan and I are sort of goofy. It's not that we don't feel that we are good or that, you know, that we're not ambitious or confident or any of those kinds of things. But sometimes just having a sense of humor about everything makes us sort of different than a lot of other musicians. And I love Gabriel because he's just like, he's so funny and goofy and dances and has a great time.
You know, that sense of humor is important. I met, this is my only name drop of the day, but I met the guitarist from Rush recently, Alex
nice.
Lifeson, which was really cool because it's the guy from Rush, you know,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
totally.
And I started talking to him a little bit about, like, you know, it wasn't an interview, we were just talking. And I said, like, you know, so you guys have been together, you know, forever. And he said, well, you know, we try to have a sense of humor about it. You know, when things get tough, we try to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this yesterday and Mitch, the producer of the segment, and I were talking about this. You guys have been together for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, we've actually been together for 36 years.
Well, you've been together for 36 years, but
Yeah.
you've been playing music together for. I thought you guys met 20 years ago.
It was very odd. We were separated at birth. That's a whole other segment.
You guys were Tim Hortons, just lining up to get a double, and we look alike.
Yeah.
20 years of making music together. I mean, well, Tegan, like, how does that sound? How does that feel?
You know, most days I think it's something that we're really proud of. You know, sometimes when people say it out loud, it feels exhausting. Like, because it feels like yesterday that we started, and then sometimes it feels like 20 years ago that we started.
Yeah.
But I think it's a point of pride for us. You know, I think a lot of bands. Are you laughing because you feel exhausted too?
No, I was going to say that, like, the hard days are when we have like an off day and I'll think, oh my God, imagine we've been doing this for 20 years and we can still be so bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's depressing.
Yeah,
Like,
we
you
do
practice so hard and you're still bad,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're proud of it. A lot of bands don't make it to 8 records. A lot of bands don't make it as long as we have, and I think we do it generally with a lot of positivity and a lot of love and respect for each other. And I think it's sometimes hard to see your own development, but there's a mirror in my band, so I get to look at Sara sometimes and see my own development through her development. You know, as a songwriter, I think she's grown so much, and as a performer, she's grown so much. And yeah, there's just something really special about what we've been able to keep together at this point. I'm like, wow, we did it. We like really kept it together. It's not that hard for me to go back into the body of the 20-year-old fighting with Sara in a hotel room over, you know, who's going to walk to the Royal Bank at 2 a.m. to do the deposit from the show, you know?
I want to talk about those kind of early days a little bit, because Sara, like, your new songs and your last album and this album have been so different than your earlier work. And just downstairs in the kind of Q department, we were talking a little bit about people in our staff, and myself included, who loved your music for a very, very long time. And obviously, you know, your older music is maybe a little bit more like that, a little bit more stripped back without a lot of production behind it. But it's such a marked difference between early records and later records. What is it like to go back and still sing those old songs? And do you want to?
Yeah, I guess, you know, if I can allow myself a compliment, which is hard sometimes, I do think that one of our strongest, even in the early days, one of our strongest skills was melodies. You know, I think that I go back and I can, even though I sometimes am uncomfortable or dislike the production on our earlier records, or even the way that we sort of sing, or, you know, just like little details that all sort of get carried away and obsessing over, I can still sort of somewhat like separate myself from it and go, well, but those are catchy songs. Like, I can't believe we were writing, like, right out of the gate, I think we really knew how to write a catchy song.
Freedom and blood, I make my mark and fight for tomorrow. Finally I've got something I can raise my voice for. Fire, tell them who you really want. Fire, well, you'll get yours and I'll get mine.
But it's interesting, you know, like with development, because, or with production, or even the language around our last couple of records, we chose to describe ourselves as making pop records and a departure from our earlier sound.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like that language or those sort of those phrases get into the media, and then it becomes sort of a narrative that feels strong, and you sort of go with that. But, if I'm being honest, I always think our records are incredibly different from each other. And I even remember, like, now it's really easy to say, oh, This Business of Art, for example, that's a really stripped down record. But I remember when we made This Business of Art, for people who had heard our earlier music, they were like, wow, there's so much production now. It's so produced, and people would, and I'd be like, is it? And it almost was sort of used as sort of to say, like, well, it's not as cool or as, organic as it used to be. And then we'd make the next record and people go, wow, there's a lot of keyboards. There's so much production on this record. It's really a departure from your earlier work. And so then we'd get to the next record and people would say, oh my God, I mean, it's so different. Why did you decide to do these things so differently? And it's like, so I think in a weird way with our last couple records, we were just like, we're going to just say it. We'll be like, we'll say it first.
Let us do it.
And then we'll tell you why it's different. And then it'll sort of feel less like, we're being told something that doesn't feel totally right for us. And I think, for me, it's like, I just don't want to be bored. I want to try something new every single time. Like if it made sense for us to make a metal record or a country record or an EDM record, like I don't feel afraid to try something different. I really don't.
But I think the rarest thing, and I know we're going to get to one more song, one of the rare things about your band is, yes, you have been together for a long time. And it's funny because you're so young and you've been playing music together for 20 years. But it also gives you a rare perspective on the music industry. It gives you a rare perspective on how things have changed, because the last 20 years have been maybe the decades that have contained the most change for the music industry since like the invention of the Victrola, since like 1910. And you have a rare perspective as young people in this decade. Sara, maybe I'll ask you is like, what's been the biggest change you've seen over these 20 years?
Well, I mean, we started really before the internet got cracking. So, I mean, that was we were really riding the wave with everybody, to see how music became, it almost felt overnight like a digital entity and something that you could get online. Like, I mean, that was a very new concept. It's hard for us to remember what it was like before that. But I will say this, and I mean it's not as a joke, but like, I think this is the perfect time for us to be in the music business. I mean, we were children of divorce, multiple divorce. We've moved around a lot. Before we were 20 years old, we moved over 20 times in our life. Like I think we thrive in circumstances that are sort of unknown, and we are very organized people, and we like controlling and organizing and fixing things. Like it's sort of, I think, a product of a sort of unstable, although very loving and supportive childhood. And
Good thing you slipped that in
I
there.
know, yeah, my mom will be listening and be like, oh my God. Anyways, she's a therapist, and I think sometimes when I'm like, I've been in therapy for like 20 years, and she's offended, and I'm like, you're a therapist. You should want me to be this healthy and self-aware. Anyways, but I think in a way, I find the music business exciting. I like that it changes all the time. I like that people are scrambling to catch up and to figure things out. I hate going publicly and I hate going on record and saying this publicly sometimes, because I think it sort of puts us outside of the general feeling of a lot of other musicians. But I don't care that our music has continued to depreciate. I don't care that we don't expect people to buy it anymore. Like, it doesn't bother me. In fact, I sort of see it as freeing. I was only able to purchase a certain number of records when I was growing up. I didn't have a lot of money. I had to save my allowance. Maybe I'd get like 1 or 2 records, a couple for Christmas or something like that. I love the idea that you don't have to have a ton of money to be able to access our entire catalog. I love the idea that you can find our music somewhere else or in some other way. I think it's
and I think
amazing.
it's important to note that over 20 years, one of the things that's been significant about Tegan and Sara and brought up everywhere, like in the press, like, online, is that we have this really intense relationship with our fan base, and they come to see us play live. And very early on in the internet age, they were, they had banter sites, like just places where they would trade MP3s of us telling stories. And I think Sara and I recognized really early on that there was something unique about what we were doing, and it wasn't just about the recorded music. And so we've had a little bit of a different attitude than a lot of other acts, because when we get off stage, oftentimes what people say is, oh my God, you're so funny. Oh, I love those stories. Oh, the banter. The 4th or 5th thing is you looked great and your music sounded awesome. And so, we've adapted really quickly to all the different changes year in and year out. And sometimes it's frustrating because we do take such pride in the recorded part of what we do, but I think it just keeps changing. It's like, it's that whack-a-mole. Like, that's what it feels like. Everyone keeps being like, we've got it figured out. Don't worry. All the labels got together. We got it figured out.
Yeah,
And then it's
yeah.
like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Tell me a little bit about the last song we're going to hear.
Okay, so this song is called 100 Times.
100 Times.
And it's a song that actually we wrote sort of together, but oddly, like I had sort of worked on it with a guy, Jesse Shatkin. We were sort of just like songwriting for fun. Like we weren't necessarily even thinking that it was going to be a Tegan and Sara thing. And then Tegan came in and sort of helped, nailed it. She brought all the good ideas.
Sent it to the moon.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
pre-chorus.
she came in.
Check out that bridge.
She came in, and actually, it was interesting because the song was quite dense. There was like we had been talking about what band had you suggested we make a track that sort of sounded like them. Oh dang, I can't remember. But
Dang.
it was like, well, I don't want to swear it's the CBC.
Right.
And so, anyways, it was like
No, it's the new CBC.
it's the new CBC.
Get it all out.
Damn it. No. So Tegan came in and made this kind of suggestion, and then we ended up stripping the song back just to a piano ballad, and it really sort of revealed itself. And it's it's a personal song. It's sort of about my relationship with Tegan, but ultimately it really is just it's kind of a breakup song, in any form. Some nights I think about girls I've broken up with. Sometimes I think about people who broke up with me. Sometimes I think about all of the stuff that Tegan and I have gone through in
Climate change.
20 years. Sometimes it's about saving the whales. It just really depends what's going on in my life when I sing it.
Here performing 100 Times in Studio Q. This is Tegan and Sara.
I went crazy thinking I was wrong, like a fool holding on too long. Let it crumble, let the whole thing fall. You were someone I loved, then you were no one at all. It was cruel of me to do what I did to you, did to you. It was wrong of me to hurt such a big part of you, part of you. I swear I tried to leave you at least 100 times a day. I swear I tried to tell you 1,000 times a different way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I swear I tried to tell you at least 100 times a day. You went silent watching as I packed, rehearsed the words you hoped would get me back. Shut it out and let your whole world fall. I was someone you loved, then I was no one at all. It was cruel of me to do what I did to you, did to you. It was wrong of me to hurt such a big part of you, part of you. I swear I tried to leave you at least 100 times a day. I swear I tried to tell you 1,000 times a different way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I swear I tried to tell you at least 100 times a day. Oh, I told you that I needed out and I couldn't stay. Couldn't stay here one more day. Oh, I told you that I needed out and I couldn't say. Couldn't tell you one more way. I swear I tried to leave you at least 100 times a day. I swear I tried to tell you 1,000 times a different way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I need out on my own, I don't wanna live this way. I swear I tried to tell you at least 100 times a day.
There you go. That's Tegan and Sara performing 100 Times here in Studio Q. Their new record, Love You to Death, which is beautiful, is out everywhere now. Stay tuned. Later in the show, you're going to hear one more song they recorded from that session. Well, we have time to play another performance from Tegan and Sara's visit to our studios. Earlier in the show, you may have heard some stripped-down versions of songs off their latest record. It's called Love You to Death. The next record you're going to hear, or the next song you're going to hear, I should say, is called Stop Desire. And while still pretty stripped down, it features this really A-list backing band they brought with them. After the song, you're going to hear a bit about the musicians they have playing with them, which is just so impressive. But right now, let's hear the jam. This is Tegan and Sara with Stop Desire in our new Q studio.
Can't deny I'm begging for attention, dropping in, hoping for some tension, getting tired of making all this racket, waiting on you to get your ass in gear. I didn't wanna be so invested. I played it cool and then I overdressed it. You were there, I was tired of this nonsense where you pretend you don't get me, feel me, want me, like me, love me, need me. Tonight, you feel for my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 I've tried, but you feel to my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 oh. In a minute I'll be up and that you're outside. Another second you'll be walking on my wild side. You know I'm ready for anything to happen. Take this passion, turn it into action. Get me, feel me, want me, like me, love me, need me. Tonight, you feel for my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 I've tried, but you feel to my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 right where I want you, back against the wall. Trust when I promise never let you fall. You're right where I want you, back against the wall. You can trust me, I'll never let you fall. Never let you fall. Tonight, you feel for my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 I've tried, but you feel to my fire. You can't stop desire. Oh, 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 stop desire. Oh, 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 oh.
Just beautiful. Performing Stop Desire. That's Tegan and Sara on Q. I have to point out that you're backed today by one of the more like crack backing bands we've ever had on the show.
Yeah, they're very professional.
We did some research.
Yeah.
Eva on bass is the original bass player for the Mars Volta, plays with Pink and Cher and Moby. Brendan on the drums also happens to plays with a number of people, but also with Shakira. Gabe, which I was trying to be a little bit cool about earlier, which I did not succeed
Is that why
at.
you fell off your stool?
That's 100% the reason I fell off my stool. Will be familiar to you maybe as one of the horn players from No Doubt.
And the link that is not online is that they all did something bad in their past lives, so now they have to play with me and Tegan. It's sort of like penance.
Karmic
like,
retribution.
Like where you have to take calm in like sometime in high school. Like they don't tell you if you have to take it in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, but at some point you have to take that weird health class.
Yeah.
That's what Tegan and Sara is for these guys.
Yeah, it's like James Brown. Like you show up late for rehearsal. All right, 4 times.
Like,
You're
you
in Tegan and
have to play
Sara.
with Tegan and Sara for part of their album cycle at the very least, just to make up for some sort of other life retribution. I don't know.
Tegan and Sara join me in Studio Q to play Stop Desire. And man, oh man, it was a battle. It was a beautiful battle in conversation, especially when I fell off my stool, as you heard. I don't know. It was a wooden stool. It was kind of hard to, wooden stools aren't easy to sit on. And right in the middle, I was kind of nervous. I'm still getting used to this gig. I was kind of nervous and talking to Tegan and Sara, and I kind of lean in to make the answer, and whoop, and I just go over. And that's why they call me Tom the Smooth. That's Tegan and Sara here on Q.